look at that. It's like a brand new rig. Wednesday morning, we're going to hook the band trailer up. I'm going to start pulling the band trailer for the next couple days to see how that goes. So that is the second to last part of the adventure. The last part will be when we drive up to Essex. Hopefully we make it. Alright, we had to use the four-wheel drive for the first time and it works. Pulling the trailer out of that spot with the snow. So my wife's going to pick me up a 4-inch drop hitch today because yep, trailer's a little tip, but here we go. Let's see how the transmission works. There she is in all her glory again with the trailer. Man, it looks so clean, it's crazy. A nice cold start. Really is wild. It's a little loud. We'll see how it goes though. If I hate it driving up to Essex this weekend, I'll change it, but so far the drive's been pretty good. I'll take a little footage on the way back, but it goes good, drives good, transmission's been okay, so we'll see. Yep, pulling the trailer, 50 miles an hour. Pretty well. I've got a new, stopping down to the parts store to get the mirror repair kit. I had to bring that into work one day and let it warm up or something, or I'll just rock the electrical tape for the rest of this winter. And then I've got a windshield washer pump at the parts store, so those will both be in. So I still need to figure out, so swapping those coolant lines, I now have, my engine gets up to temperature. However, I don't have heat in the cab anymore. So I'm gonna bypass the valve that for the air conditioning that would open and close in the coolant system. Make sure that's not doing something funky because of the vacuum stuff. It's all hooked up, so it shouldn't be a problem. But I'm gonna bypass that completely. See if I can get it to work. Pull the AC stuff out. That way I can actually take a look at everything in the engine bay, because the with all the AC stuff in there, it's hard to see the heater hose, and it's kind of a funky how the rear heat stuff comes out and then it like connects to stuff. I need to figure that out and take a look at it and get a good understanding of it. Worst case, we turn the rear heat on like once or twice a year, barely ever. So worst case, I'm just gonna completely unhook it and just hook up the two heater core lines to the LS just like a regular vehicle. So I will have heat for Friday, one way or the other, but I'm hoping to figure out the whole rear heat system. So I might tinker with that a little bit tonight before band practice at 6:30. So those are the next to do things, but still doing very well. Pretty happy with it. More updates on the adventure for pulling the trailer up to the gig. Once we get on the interstate today I drove the trailer to work on the normal roads. Tomorrow I'm going to take the interstate home. That way if it breaks down, it's not on the way to work. And then if that goes well, we'll take this up to the gig, and that'll obviously be interstate with a lot of big hills heading north. So that'll be an adventure. I'm going to bring the camera because last time coming back from there, we blew a transmission, actually from a different gig, but up in that area. So, and we ended up just playing Nintendo 64 in the van for like 3 hours. Not really, it was an hour and a half waiting for a friend to come chain tow us home. But, yep, we will keep you updated. Well, here we go. We're heading up to the interstate. About to pull on here. It's a big hill we just had to climb up to get onto the interstate in general. It downshifted good, then it upshifted, pretty firm shift. I had called the guy who did the tuning yesterday, and he said that he did up the line pressure a little bit in his tuning, so that's good to know. Exhaust makes it so much scarier when you're downshifting because it sounds like it's just screaming. You don't normally notice it in a regular pickup as bad. So that was 4th gear, and then I think lockup. It's got a pretty sluggish lockup, which I'm not really sure about that. That's 70. There is a little bit of a vibration. I wonder, my output shaft angle of the transmission is not exactly parallel with the output shaft or the input shaft, whatever the yoke on the rear axle. So it might be worth shimming that a little bit. Up at these higher speeds, there is a small vibration. I'm gonna check and see how close the speedo is at the upper speed limits here. Yeah, advertisements. Says 65, we just climbed a little hill, so it says 65 and my phone says 68. So good to know, 5 miles an hour off in the higher speeds. So we're cruising at 70 right now. 72, 73, so it's not too bad actually. Shabby. It's not a race car, so I don't expect it to do 100 miles an hour, but the fact that it can maintain 65 would be good. But it still is lugging a little bit, like coming up onto a big hill like that. We just were dropping down quickly to 60. Didn't have to downshift, it stayed in lockup. The old 700R4 with the 350, we would have been doing like 45 on that hill. So, not too shabby. Hopefully the next clip of this video is not me pulled over on the side of the interstate. Here we go. Well, we made it back. No leaks. Transmission's not leaking, nothing like that. So that's good. I'm gonna go inside, change come back out, let this cool down a minute, and figure out what the heck's going on with the heat. Hopefully we get that figured out. All right, we're out here, cruising at 70 miles an hour. We're actually almost to the gig. We've had basically no issues, so that's good. Knock on wood. I didn't want to say anything until we were almost there. We got most of the, you can't see, but we got most of the band here. Some of them are in their own cars. Just they didn't want that unload drums and stuff like that, swap them over to the trailer. But this might be a success. Once we get up, we'll check in on the way back down and make sure we make a round trip without breaking down. But breakdowns are always the fun footage anyways. So yeah, wish us luck. See you later. Alrighty, there's our exit. It is 2:30 in the morning. Gig went well, and the van went well. I do have a check engine light, but I'm pretty sure before I had left I cleared it. It just barely came on a little while ago, and it was a throttle position sensor, and I think that is failing because it's when that check engine light came on, it wouldn't downshift anymore no matter how far I press the throttle in, so it doesn't know where the throttle position is at because the throttle position is just not working. So I gotta change that. Other than that, it was pretty good. We still have a little, the drive shaft vibration is way better, but pulling the pinion down, I unfortunately might need to have the drive shaft lengthened because now it's the stick out from the transfer case, the slip is not really what I would like. And that might be part of what the vibration is. So, because now the angles are dead nuts, that's all good. So, might send that back to be lengthened, and then we'll see what's next. If it still vibrates, then I'm not sure. Then I'll keep chasing some stuff. But overall, pretty good success. First big drive with all the work we did and this whole much stuff that was done to this thing. I can't ask for much more than that. It was pretty good. I didn't have any leaks or anything like that. So very nice. Very nice. Oh, update time. Second gig. It is now like 2:30 in the morning. I think that's a song. 2:30 in the morning.
Country song.
Yeah. We got something going on. Either the wheel spacer loosened up on the front axle, or the hub is loose. And we got no tools, Lieutenant Dan. I had all the tools for the first drive, but then after the first trip to Essex and everything went well, I took all the tools out. So we are doing 5 miles an hour where they're going thunk, 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 thunk. And let's hope we don't lose the front tire. You don't take for granted speed when you have to travel miles and it's going slow. Yay for updates. So, sorry to leave you guys hanging. I guess I never took a picture after like 2:30 in the morning when we had that the noise going down the interstate. I called my wife up and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's like, "That's a pretty dumb question." So she had to get a floor jack and an impact gun and some tools and sockets. She met us up at the rest area. We limped it to the rest area, and it was in fact some of the lug nuts loosened up on the spacer itself, not the wheel, but the spacer underneath it. It felt like that's what it was, and it was clunking down the road. But we got it there and sucked them all in tight. Haven't had a problem since. I went around with the impact gun. That's what you get for using a torque wrench. I don't ever use a torque wrench on them. I always go until the ugga-duggas stop on my impact gun. But up at the shop, I always like, no, use an impact or use a torque wrench. Not doing it. The plan is to get different wheels that have the right offsets so we don't need to use the wheel spacers at all. But funds just ran out. And they work, so we're using it. But we got it all fixed, and we got home that night. So we made it. Did the trick. How's everybody doing? We got another update. We are taking the van with the snowmobile trailer up to a friend's camp this weekend. There's like 15 of us going, and there's not enough beds. So I was like, oh, perfect. So we laid the old bed down in the back. It's freaking huge. It's like, these are queen size pads and stuff, and they were still just too short. So it's an awesome size bed. We're gonna park in close enough to the house because it's like 20 degrees up here, so it's kind of chilly. So we got a little heater, we got a fan, but we're gonna park close enough to the house so we can run an extension cord out. Could run my little generator, but there's no sense if we can park close to the house. And be our first time actually trying it out, sleeping in it. We have a motorhome we normally use in the winter, in the summertime, but it's put away and stuff for the winter. So this will be kind of a cool adventure. Thought you guys might like that in all of our glory. We'll keep you posted. So the snowmobile trip went good. That bed sucks. So it's huge and it looks comfy as all get out. I slept on the couch. Super comfortable. Not bad. Once you lay that thing down, the only usable pieces are the front couch part and the way back couch part, because the metal frame in the middle is so bad. We had like 2 sleeping bags and blankets below us, and it was just so bad. We ended up sleeping on complete opposite sides, just on the one comfortable spot. So I think next time we're either going to put like a couple pieces of plywood on top and then all the bedding, or an air mattress on top. We even had like a, you know, the whatever they call the little foam pads, the egg carton foam, and that still wasn't enough. Maybe if you put like a 4-inch foam pad like that you put on a motorhome bed or something, or a little mattress thing, that might work. But woof, yeah, don't recommend that. Here's a nice picture of the van pulling the trailer, though, the snowmobile trailer, and we stopped for dinner. But yeah, figured I'd give you guys a little update. And thanks for hanging out on the channel for this band van build. Probably won't do too many more updates with it because it's just been rocking and rolling. I am gonna send the dry shaft out to get lengthened at some point, but we're still using it and it works. So I'll do that when we have a break in gigs. And the next thing's coming up now will be drag week. I'd love to get my Jeep together, but we're working on building a garage, and some of the videos you see, like the trees down and everything, is kind of a mess in the yards because we're in the midst of clearing trees and getting ready to put up a garage down below. So you'll see videos on a new garage hopefully some point. But yeah, so the Jeep that I'm mid-build is kind of on the back burner still, but I did register and got my ticket for Hot Rod Drag Week this year, so that'll be probably the next updates on the channel. So thanks guys for following along. See you around like a donut.